What is going on, everyone? I hope everybody has had a fantastic week and they're ready to do some metal detecting talk. How about you, Michael? You ready?
I'm ready. Good
Yeah.
show tonight.
Oh, yeah. We've got a ton of people in the house. We are super excited to bring you this live stream on Friday night. Michael and I have been sort of working together, trying to figure out what we're going to talk about tonight, but we got a great show planned and we've got a lot of people in here and we want to recognize those people real quick. Michael, let's give a few shout outs. We've got Mr. Sniffit out in here with us. Finders Keepers is in here with us tonight. Mr. Damian Thorne is in here. Alabama Digger. Alabama Digger says, I'm going to chill and catch the next one. I ran my Deus one over Todsey like a dummy. Never lean your machine
Mm.
on your car. See you guys later. Well, Alabama Digger, I hate to hear that, but hopefully you can do something with that Deus one. What do you think about that, Michael?
Well, it's easy to do. I was on a hunt in South Carolina. I leaned my shovel up against the truck, and I drove all the way home and realized, of course,
It
I'm
was
not going to drive
gone.
back to South Carolina.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
That's a terrible feeling.
yeah,
Mr. Stinkass Cat is in the house. We're so excited to have him. We haven't seen him in a while, but we're glad he's in here with us
good to
tonight.
see. Yeah,
Always glad to have him. Mr. Damian Thorne's in there. He said he ran his CTX over with his
mm.
truck. So that's not good.
Yeah.
Mr. LC Hunt, great support of the channel. Always glad to have you, LC. Mr. James Lettner, glad to have you in here with us tonight. Tesh Ridge Diggers, always a great supporter of the channel. Super excited about having him. Mr. James Bazell. James is a great supporter of the channel. Always comments on all of our stuff. Super excited to have James. DC Diggins on here. Happy Friday to you too, DC Diggin. We appreciate you. Mr. Relics and Rings, who was on here last week. If you haven't seen that show, go back and check it out. Had some great information on there, didn't we, Michael?
Yeah, that's right. Go back and watch that show.
Oh, yeah. It was a good one. It was a good one. And he shared some great information on the Mana Core for you guys that are Mana Core users. Relics and Rings definitely has a lot of information up on his channel as
Yeah,
well. Mr. Joe.
he's very knowledgeable guy.
He is
Big time.
definitely. Mr. Joel is in here. Mr. Fly Rock, too. We're always glad to have Joel. Joel is a great supporter and a sponsor of this live stream. If you are looking for anything metal detecting related, check out Joel. Joel, Metal Detecting Buy, Sell, and Trade USA. He's got his phone number up here, 775-388-8277. Or you can contact him at leebelt@gmail.com. Disregard the website. He said that website's not functioning anymore, but you can definitely contact him that way. Great service, easy to work with. Joel is a great person to deal with. Michael, he's a good one, isn't he?
He sure is, and that's the only place I buy stuff from.
No,
If he doesn't get it, if he
yeah,
doesn't have it, he can probably get it.
he
You
can
know,
definitely get it for you for sure. Mr. Ricky Bennett's on here tonight, also a great support of the channel. Digging Daryl, love Digging Daryl. Digging Daryl, we got to have you on here too.
yeah,
We're going to get you on the live stream with us one night and let you share some of your information. But Digging Daryl, always glad to have him on here. Wisco Detect, one of our main supporters of our channel, has also been on here with us. Glad to have Wisco on here. Mr. Workman's Adventures, glad to have him. Always Bells. Bells is awesome supporter of the channel. Appreciate Bells being in here with us tonight. Don't Tread on Me, Metal Detect, and we got a great find from
yeah,
Don't Tread
sure
on Me.
do. There's some great finds tonight, and I know he has one in particular that's
Oh my
awesome.
gosh, I couldn't believe it when he sent it to me. I was so excited for him. Super excited to share his find, and we're going to have that going on. Mr. Joe Dirt is on here. I'm trying not to miss anybody. Jeremy Duty, glad to have him on here. Hello, Jeremy. Glad to have you. David's Farm and Metal Detecting. Glad to have him. Hello, David's Farm and Metal Detecting. Finders Keepers is on here. Glad to have him with us. Fly Rock has already given us a donation, a super sticker. We appreciate that, Fly Rock. All of the donations definitely go back into the channel and help us bring this channel and this live stream to you every Friday night. And we appreciate Joel for doing that. And thank you again, Joel, for the generous donation. Prospectors Cash. Always awesome to have him in here. Prospectors Cash also has a great live stream on Wednesday night. Very
It sure
knowledgeable,
does.
yeah, very knowledgeable guy, and we appreciate what he does for the metal detecting community. But thank you so much, Prospectors Cash, for being in here. Finders Keepers. He says, hello, SRA. Glad to have you in here. Our main man, Lance, is in the house. What up, Lance? We're so super excited to have you. Mr. Carson Chris is in here with us. Always glad to have him. Tom Baum, howdy from Buda, Texas. Michael, we're coming in live and in clear audio in Buda, Texas. How about that?
I don't know where that's at.
I don't know where that's at either, but I'm super excited to have him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lance says he took a break from coon hunting tonight so he could be on the live stream. We appreciate you, Lance, so much. Frank's Fly Traps is in here with us. Glad to have you in here, Frank's Fly Traps. Mr. Mark Cuss is in here. Always super excited to have him. Carrie Holderreed is in here. Super excited to have him in here with us as well. Mr. Tin Man's in here. Tin Man also a great supporter of the channel. Mr. Gary Ian, super excited to have him in here. Let's see who else we got. Miss Sonny Coley's in here with us. Always super excited to have Sonny in here. And Mr. Greg Nichols. And we got some great finds from Greg Nichols tonight too, don't we? Don't we, Mike?
How you doing, Greg?
Yeah, we are super, super excited to have each and every one of you here tonight joining in with us on a Friday night. It's going to be a great show. We got a lot of great conversation we're going to talk about tonight, and we're going to share those finds too. But we're going to dive right into what our main topic is going to be, and we may venture off on some other things too, right, Michael?
Yeah, we always do.
I know it never fails. We go into all kinds of different directions, but we're gonna get into a couple of different topics tonight, and we are hoping that we bring you guys some great information, some things that we think could be happening, and what might be going on in the metal detecting world. A lot of great things going on, and we want to be able to share some of that information, what we think is going to happen, and so on. So, Michael, the main conversation tonight between everybody on here is what metal detecting company, and I put up a post on this, and I may share this. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick, Michael. I put up a post on YouTube asking everyone to tell me what they think is going to be the next breakout company for 2024 as far as metal detecting goes. So I'm going to ask you that question, Michael. What do you think? Which company do you think is poised to break out in 2024? What do you think about that?
I think, I think not that it's right on the cusp of, releasing the Legend. It's pretty close in performance to the Deus 2 and the Manicore. And I think they're due up for a high end, a flagship machine. And I think, it could even, if not equal performance, it may exceed the performance of the current machines we have. I mean, they're right there, and they've worked on their machines, and they're well built machines as well. So
Right. And I put that poll up, and we've already gotten 34 votes. Joe Dirt, he brings up a good point. He says whichever company starts out using AI, and that might be something too that they implement into this. Blasted Cat's on here. Glad to have Blasted Cat. Digging Canucks on here with us. Glad to have her. Thank you, Liz, for being in the house. And Yakina One from Japan is in here with us tonight too. Always glad to have them.
I've heard that what she's talking about.
What's that?
I'm sorry, what he's talking about. A flagship machine from Mine Lab in the works, a CTX. We've heard that for a couple of years, but I mean that's something we'll have to yet to see. It could be, about to come out. You know, MindLab released how many new machines did they release here in the
A
last
bunch. We
a
had the
bunch of
Xterra, we had the Xterra, we had the Equinox 700 and 900, and we had the MindLab Manicore, all released real close to each other, and they came out with a ton of machines. But let's look at our poll, Michael. Before I actually comment on it, I'm going to share this with you guys and see what you think about this poll. So I thought this poll was pretty interesting, and I thought this was an interesting topic for tonight. And if we look at our poll, it's showing that 44% people agree with what you just said.
Mhm.
We 9% said MindLab, 35% said XP, and 12% said Garrett. So what does that mean, Michael? Let's just break this down a little bit further. So it looks like the majority of the people believe that Nocta is on the verge of something really, really good. And you know what? I'm going to agree with them.
Right.
Let me tell you why. I saw a big improvement in the Nocta score and the Nocta double score that they just released. They're trying to get the ergonomics a lot better on the machine. I think they're cleaning up the audio. I love the layout of the screen. I love the buttons on the screen. I love all of those things that Nocta did with the double score and the score. And so I'm going to say Nocta, but I am also going to go along with you. I think MindLab is due for something as well, with possibly a CTX off spin. I believe that there could be a CTX before the end of 2024. I just got a feeling about that.
Well, if you look at the trend, I mean, and that you can't really go off of that. The DS1, that machine, you know, that was, and it still is a good machine, but that machine, you know, they kind of had that. How many years was that machine out before we got the DS2?
It came out in 2011, Michael.
2011.
2011. And so now we got the DS2 just 2 years ago, which would have
Right.
been 2021. Okay. So they went for 10 years before they released, well, the ORX. I mean, we could use that one too, but they went for 10 years before they released another premium machine. Now, let's make this clear. The DS1 was well ahead of its time.
And it's still a good detector. A lot of people
It
still
is.
use that machine,
Right,
you
and
know?
Gary Blackwell just put up a video today. You and I both watched it. Um, really using the Deus One, and the Deus One is an excellent machine. It's the machine that I basically cut my teeth with XP products. But these other companies are gaining ground on MindLab and XP. And
Right.
and I still feel like MindLab and XP are probably the two at the top, but Nocta is gaining on them, I think, very, very quickly. And I'm gonna say this too, I think if they figure the audio portion out, because I don't think their audio is quite there yet, but if they figure out how to run that multi-frequency with the audio a little bit clearer and not so, I don't know, sort of crackly in some cases, if they can clean up that audio, I think they're on to something big. What do you think?
It is a pleasant audio on the ledge and the scores, you know, it's similar to the Mind Lab tones. But you know, just the nuance in the tones, I think that's something they had to work on.
Right,
And I think they have been, and we'll see a machine in the near future. I think out of them that's going to be, you know, right up there. You know, if not exceeding the top machines we have now. You
right.
know,
And like I said, I'm really impressed with what they did with the double score and score.
right,
I know those machines are less than $500, but the design of those machines, the screen layout, the just everything, just seems like it just works really, really well. And I think if they can clean up their audio just a little bit, they're that close, Michael. They really are that close.
Yeah, I like the layout of the buttons and the
Right,
menu on the score and the double score. I mean, they've worked on that, you know?
right, right. And guys, this poll wasn't, and I put this up here. This poll wasn't about what's your favorite machine. This isn't what that was about, because I know a lot of you love the Deus 2, and I love the Deus 2. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm telling you is, which company is due for a breakout? Is XP just going to stick with the Deus 2, or are they going to venture into some other machine? Are they going to maybe possibly venture into the lower end market? You know, they're not even visible in the lower end market, are they, Michael?
Right. Well, we talked in the past, you know, maybe a pulse induction coal, maybe Deus could release. I mean, that we're just speculating there, but could it be done, you know, where you could just buy a coal and use your existing platform? I don't know. You know, it's something we would just interesting to consider, but I don't know if you would have to have a different platform than the DS2 to use that or what, you know?
Right. And we're not saying right now that you're going to put down your Deus 2 for a Nocta machine. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is, which company is poised to break out. And of those four companies right there, and I know somebody mentioned Fisher, but Fisher's almost been non-existent. I mean, I would love to think that Fisher could come out with something good, but I'm just not very I'm not very confident in Fisher. I would be more confident in Garrett than I was Fisher. How about you, Michael?
Yeah, I think I would too. I mean, yeah, we hadn't heard much out of Fisher, really, you know, as far as advertising or anything,
No,
you
well, but
know?
I will say this, Michael. I follow them on Instagram, and lately I've seen a big push of Fisher ads running through on Instagram.
Really.
Now, why that is, I don't know. Maybe they do have something that they're going to try to release, but if it's not a multi-frequency machine, they're dead in the water.
Right.
Right.
I had a F75 and it was a great machine. You know, I found a lot of stuff with it. It was a little noisy, but it was a deep machine. But you know, as far as relic hunting for its time, it was a good machine. You know.
Right. Yakina One says coal technology with new designs to run 5-inch and 11-inch coals simultaneously.
Hmm.
That's a little bit different for sure. Could it be done? Michael and I have had an insight into something that we saw recently that looked really, really interesting. Michael, you want to tell them what that is? I mean, you don't have to mention the company, but you want to tell them something that we saw that we were really impressed with? Tell them.
I don't know what you're talking what you're
Yes,
talking
you
about.
do, Michael. You do know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that machine. You know the machine.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
So fill everybody in on something that we thought is something that's really, really good that a lot of these other companies have not implemented.
Well, it's a type of audio we saw on a certain machine that it actually you can hear the size of the target as well as ferrous or non-ferrous. I mean, it's at the same time.
Right.
It's really innovative. I've never seen anything like it, but it's pretty awesome.
So what Michael's talking about is like you know how we'll use the pinpoint mode to sort of identify where the target is and so on. Well, this thing sort of has a pinpoint mode that's sort of always on, but you can also hear the target audio for the pitch and the sound of the target, identifying whether it's ferrous or non-ferrous. But you could also tell the size of the target by the
Right.
other sound, which
So it's like an overlay of sounds,
right,
you
it's
know,
like
in
an
one.
overlay of sound, so you hear both sounds at the same time.
Right.
That to me is very innovative, and I
Yeah.
loved it. Didn't you like it, Michael?
Yeah, I did. It was pretty neat.
Oh yeah, I loved it. So some people were saying Garrett, who knows? Garrett has bought White's technology. And we all know that White's was sort of hitting on the right thing with the multi-frequent, I won't say multi-frequency, but with the different frequencies and so on. And of course, Garrett released the Apex. Could Garrett be the next company to break out in 2024? Well, we've been saying that for a while. We've been waiting on a new Garrett machine for how long, Michael?
A long time. I mean, it would be great to see an American company to release a competitive, top level machine.
Yeah.
I really would like to see that.
Yes. And Don't Tread on Me says, don't forget all the software updates. Even the Deus One recently had one. And that's
Yeah.
true. That's true. It's going to be interesting, though. I just don't believe, and Michael will agree with me on this, I just don't believe that XP is going to be able to survive just off of the Deus 2 the way they did the Deus 1. Do you think that, Michael?
Well, not at the speed that these metal detecting companies are moving with new machines and innovation now. I think they're gonna have to pick up the pace,
Yeah,
from with the Deus 2 that
they're
they didn't with the Deus 1.
right. And Relics and Rings agrees with us. Yeah, the audio is choppy on the Legend. If they get that audio right, guys, look out, because I'm telling
Yeah,
you, they're on to it. And if they figure out how to make that thing run a little bit smoother, it it could be trouble for a lot of these other companies.
yeah,
And and like I said, I've used the Legend, I've used the Score, and I've used the Double Score, and all three of those machines are excellent machines. And again, the audio is just not quite there, but they're close. They're very, very, very close
right.
to a breakthrough. And that's why I say I think Nocta is the company to look out for. And here's the other thing that I'm going to say about Nocta, and Michael will agree with me too on this, I know. Nocta does a great job of marketing their products. Do they not, Michael?
They really do. Yeah,
I
they
think
do.
they do. They have pretty good customer service for sure. And then also too, they're well represented here in the United States. They are very well represented in the United States. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, for foreign company, they do a good job in the
Well,
United States. Going to these shows and they usually have a representative there.
right.
Uh,
And I will agree that MindLab does a good. But I will
yeah,
say this: XP's not quite as involved in the U.S. market the way that they should be. And you guys know I love XP. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing XP, but what I'm saying is that Nocta and MindLab are way ahead of XP when it comes to the US market. They're marketing their products wide open here in the United States. MindLab and Nocta really going head to head, and they're doing a fantastic job. If you go to any of these events, you will see Nocta and you will see MindLab, you will see Garrett too. Even Garrett does a great job of marketing and promoting their products at these events, as well as promoting their products here in the United States. Do you not think so, Michael?
I think so. I mean, they spend a lot of money marketing. Garrett does here in the United States, and you know, hopefully, I would rather them see spend some money on innovation and different, you know, upgrading their machines. I hopefully will see something in the future out of Garrett. I would love to. That would be, cutting edge and
Right.
detecting technology.
Well, I agree with you, Michael. I would love to see Garrett just, sort of explode. I don't know, Michael. I'm just not having a lot of confidence in Garrett, but I'm not saying that they won't. It's just, I just haven't seen it. I mean, how long can you ride on the AT Pro and the AT Max? And the Apex is okay. Where are they going though? Where are they going? And do they have the research and development to come out with a multi-frequency machine that can rival the MindLab machine or the XP machine or the Nocta machine? And until they figure that part out, they're dead in the water too right now.
Right.
Right. And Prospector's Cash says, I think someone that could put electronics in a search coil and display on the app on your cell phone would be awesome. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, Prospector's Cash. I thought before XP released the Extreme, I thought that's what they were headed for. Now, I was wrong, but I thought that's what XP was headed for, to give you a colorized screen on your cell phone. But the problem is that if you did that on your cell phone, then you tie up your cell phone. And what kind of battery drain would you have on your cell phone too, running that through Bluetooth or whatever? What is that going to do?
Well, we kind of see a form of that with the XP's app. It connects to your machine and you can
Right.
see your VDI numbers on it, and it does drain your battery. But I mean, they're kind of working that way. If they release a total dedication screen on your phone in the future, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, Michael. This is, to me, this is one of the most interesting conversations we've had. Finders Keeper says, be nice to see Fisher bring out something competitive. And again, I just don't have any confidence in Fisher.
Right.
I would like to think that they could. The same way I feel about Garrett. I would like to think that Garrett could come out with something, and they may, but I haven't heard anything about it. And I've got my ear pretty close to a lot of different people that are in that world, and they're not saying anything about it, and unless they're just really keeping tight lip. But I would have heard something, and I just don't see that coming in the near future. Of all the companies on this list, the only one that I know or that I feel has something that is really close to MindLab or XP is going to be Nocta. Don't you think so, Michael?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're working to, improve their machines every year, and they're looking to release it's kind of, well, you look at the Amphibio when it was released, it was right there with the machines that were out then, and I think they're going to continue to do that. Everybody's kind of new to this multi-frequency game here.
And that's the thing, Michael. I think that Nocta is putting a lot of money into research and development.
Right.
But I also see them putting a lot of money into marketing. And that's what's going to separate them from those other two, I believe. Now, MindLab does a great job of marketing too. But I think Nocta could go head to head with MindLab eventually if they keep on with what they're doing.
Right.
I think
so too.
I do. I really do. I really believe that. Tim Man says we need a virtual reality headset with built-in GPR like night vision. That would be really cool, wouldn't it, Michael?
Yeah, it would be cool.
Yeah, that will be a great one. Finders Keeper says he ran an F75 for years, took my 800 back to Aries. I pounded with it, and it was almost new again. F75 was a nice relic machine, though. And we all went through that. When the Equinox came out, we all realized, dang, we missed a lot of targets with this machine, but it was the first multi-frequency machine. So again, what company is going to be the next company, the next Equinox, the next MindLab company? Is it going to be Nocta? Is it going to be XP? Is MindLab going to release something else that can rival their machines that they already have on the market? We're advancing pretty fast at this point. And like I said, the one company that I think right now that is definitely on the rise and that's definitely got a lot going on is going to be Nocta. I really think Nocta at this point. And I could be totally wrong, but they're close. I just feel like they're very, 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 very close. Gary Yen says, I wonder if Nocta will try and make a Legend with a better screen. It would not surprise me at all. It would not surprise me for them to come out with a better screen, a better user interface layout on that screen that makes it a lot easier for us to use, because we know the Legend screen and the Legend settings are a little bit they're a little bit wonky, Michael. I mean,
Right, maybe like a Legend Pro or in an updated Legend,
right.
down the road that has a color screen and several updates to the interface. And I mean, who knows, what
Yeah,
they have in store. But
nobody knows, and we hope we're on the right track. Greg Nichols says Garrett needs to get this decade, in this decade with the design. That's true.
yeah,
And I'm not saying Garrett can't do that. I think Garrett could come out with something that would be something that could rival these machines. But if I'm just looking at what's going on right now in the beginning of 2024, I'm just leaning towards Nocta. I mean, I just think, they just built a new facility. They're spending money like crazy on research and development. They've got a great marketing campaign. I just see those pieces sort of coming together for Nocta. And I just say look out, but we'll see. We'll see what happens again. And you guys come back later and say, Teach, you were totally wrong, but I don't think I'm going to be wrong. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Lance says he can never learn the White's V3i. The manual's 3 inches thick. Right. The V3i was a very complicated machine, but it was a very innovative machine because it did give you the first chance at switching frequencies, which was way ahead of its time in 2011, 2012, 2013. It was one of the first to actually go ahead
and Garrett, they did buy that technology from Weiss.
right.
Is the way I understand it. So who knows? They could be working on something.
Right. Carson Chris says XP needs a better screen interface in color, and I think we've all heard that. The XP screen is not the MindLab screen, but it does the job. Let's make that clear too. It would be nice to have a colorized screen. It would be nice for them to come up with a different sort of graph other than the XY screen. Will XP do that? If they do that, maybe they are the next big company to, leap ahead of everyone else. I just don't know. I don't know. And guys, I don't have any inside information. This is all speculation from Michael and I. But, if XP came out with a colorized screen, do you guys think that it leapfrogs MindLab or the ManaCore at that point to where it is I mean, a lot of us already believe it's the number one machine, but if you got a colorized screen, do you think it leapfrogs MindLab? What do you think, Michael?
Well, one thing that comes along with that color screen is battery life.
Right.
We know the ManaCore. I mean, it's battery life. You can get a good day out of it.
Right.
But it's not as good battery life as the day is too. And
Right.
that's one of the main reasons is that color screen. And it's a trade-off. If you like that colored larger screen, you're gonna use more battery. And I mean, it's just
right. And how many times have we talked about the ManaCore and having to charge that thing, and that thing, it takes forever to charge it.
that's one thing I don't understand there. I mean, is it the battery just that much bigger? Or I mean, I don't know.
I don't know either. Thank you, Prospectors Cash, for the donation. Again, all donations go back into the channel. Again, it does cost money for me to have this live stream. So again, any donations are welcome and appreciated. Thank you so much, Prospectors Cash. Flyrock says, hard to have any confidence in Fisher or Garrett. I'm sort of with him right now, unless you just don't know, but I just don't think that's coming. Tin Man says, maybe First Texas is working on something.
Yeah.
First Texas. Yeah, could be. Prospectors Cash brings up a good point. Nocta also supports their product very well. And I will say this, Nocta, Delic does a very good job of customer support. You know, whether you like them or not, they do an excellent job of customer support and, trying to make the product better. I'll say that. And
Right.
I know that because I've dealt with them and they're really, really good on that end. And I think they're only going to get better um, as they go. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I think they will. It's innovation. It's moving quick today. Technology. It's like our TVs. Uh, a flat TV used to be $2,000. Now, it's just they're getting cheaper and more advanced. The machines, these entry level machines are just awesome now. I mean, did
Right,
you ever think we'd see this caliber of machine,
right.
just a few years ago for that price?
Right. 230, 259 or $269. You can get a machine that probably would have cost you seven or $800 not even 4 or 5 years ago. So
Yeah,
we're moving at a rapid rate. And some of these companies are going to have to realize that their competition, they thought they were leap years ahead of their competition. Their competition is catching up to them in a
right.
hurry. And that's where I think we're heading. Digging Canuck says maybe XP will do more for America with the signing of Merrill. Well, that could possibly happen, but XP is going to have to make a concerted effort to focus on the U.S. market. And
Right.
right now, I don't know if they're really doing that. Even with Merrill, and I like Merrill and I like XP, but I don't know if they were actually ready to make that concerted effort and realize that the people in the United States need to be able to see that product. They need to talk to someone who understands that product, and they need to talk to a person that's going to go to these events and be able to show that product and be able to explain how that product benefits them, the user, the end user, and the
Yeah.
consumer. I don't know that they're ready for that yet, but we'll see. I mean, time will tell. I may end up being that person. Merrill might end up being that person. There may be somebody else out there that could be that person. But I will say this: I think XP really needs to make more of a concerted effort here in the United States. If they do that, then again, I think that they will win over more customers than what they have right now. We'll see.
Right.
What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I would love to see them more at these hunting events, that we have, the shows. There's several across the country.
Right,
More appearances on, you know, representatives on these live streams, to reach people, and
right,
hopefully they'll do that.
right. And Blasted Cat says, no way XP is sitting back and taking for granted they are on the top of the mountain. I bet they are working hard on new technology, just the rest. My money would be on Nocta for the next bombshell. And Blasted Cat, I agree with you 100%. I want to see XP move to another level. I do want to see them do that. I don't think that they're just going to be able to sit back though on the XP 2 and rely on the XP 2 to carry them like they did the XP 1, because that gap that they had when they released the XP 1 is not that far, is it, Michael?
It's not, and I think XP, like we talked about, in their update 1.0 update, they
Right,
had something in mind there, and I don't think we've seen the last of that 1.0 update. It's going to come out in the future, just a modified version. Because
right.
people, they had something in mind, and there's something about those filters on 1.0 that it's pretty special. But
Well,
we just have to see
and
what
I think
happens.
and I think XP is they've always been ahead of the game. When they released the Deus 2, it sort of shocked the world. But now what's going to be their next move after the Deus 2? Should they venture into that lower end market that they've never been a part of? Or do they just sit back and keep doing what they've done in the past? That's what I'm interested to see from XP. Are they going to do that? Are they just going to sit back and just ride the day as two until the wheels fall off? And eventually that's going to happen. But the thing is that gap is so close right now. You and I have had this conversation, and we've had this conversation on here too. The Manticore is not that far from the Deus 2, if not better in some situations than the Deus 2. I mean, that gap is not there anymore. And I don't know. I don't know what XP will do.
Well, you look. I mean, Mind Lab. They had the Vanquish series, the multi-frequency series. It's a cheaper machine. Not that has the score, the double score. You would think that XP would jump to that and have a lower end multi-frequency machine, and I think that may be the next thing we see from them.
Right, and it could be. And we're all this is speculation too, by the way, guys. I have no inside knowledge from XP, from Nocta, from MindLab, from anybody. This is all just speculation, what we're talking about, because it's a fun topic to talk about. Let's just go with that. But don't tread on me, metal detecting. It says, has anyone found a non-ferrous surprise with the Nocta new pinpointer? I'm very curious. Could be very cool in the square nail cellar lips. How about you, Michael? I know you've used the pinpointer quite frequently. What do you think about that pinpointer?
Well, I have, tried that non-ferrous tone, and it does work. If you have if you're hunting in the iron, you can pick out the nails in between the good target. And I mean, it does give a different tone, and it works. It's like, I think Mind Lab also has that. To a certain extent, it's helpful. But I mean, it's not something you want to rely on 100%. But it is a helpful feature.
Right. Can you dig it? Says Mind Lab is not doing good with the M8 coil here in America. Well, I would beg to differ on that. I like the M8.
Was it G's talking a lot, maybe sales or just getting them out on the market?
It could be sales, or it could be getting them. I mean, or the performance. But I've enjoyed the M8, and Michael knows I've found some really, really good things with the M8. The one thing I don't like about it is the audio is just, I don't know, something with that coil just doesn't, I don't know. You can't get as much nuance with it as well as you can with the 11-inch. And Michael and I have had this conversation quite frequently that we might think the 11-inch actually might do a little better than the M8 in some situations too. Right, Mike?
Right. I think it does. It's kind of like the 800. I think they designed that machine around that 11-inch coil, and that's what works the best for it.
Right.
And we've talked about multi-frequency, and seems like the larger coils do a better job with multi-frequency. I don't know. I mean, we're just speculating here.
Right. All of this is speculation. We just, we're just going on what we've seen and what we think might could happen. We're seeing some great innovation going on between these companies. And again, most of you, according to this poll, agree with me and Michael that Nocta is the next company that could release something that is going to break out in 2024. And it would not surprise me at all. Prospectors Cash wants to know about Quest metal detectors. And honestly, we can't get our hands on one, number one. I did get an email not too long ago asking me to show some Quest machines, but it was going to be the lower end versions of those machines. It wasn't going to be the V80. And I'm just, I'm just not into that. But
well, I did talk to a guy in Virginia, Tom, that had the V80, and he said it was really he really had a time getting that machine set up right to run. It was kind of a pain to, really to hunt in an iron, and
Right.
um, he was just had a time getting it set up right.
Yeah, and
But
I've heard that too. I've heard that there's been some issues with those Quest machines, even over in Europe. I've heard some things, especially with the V80, which was the one that Michael and I were really interested in, because it
mhm.
had the multi-frequency. You could go all the way up to 80, Michael, on that machine, which was pretty fascinating.
Right, right. And who knows? Yeah, AXP could release that small coil, and it could go up to a higher frequency too. We're just, I know it did with the HF coils, the elliptical coil. You could go up to what was it, 70, the 76,
Yeah,
77
yeah,
kilohertz?
yeah. Yeah, you could go up. I think it was close to 82. So I think you're
Yeah.
right. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've used that coil. Wisco Tech says technology will not stop. That's why cell phones come out with a new phone every year. Drummond Tech says, Nocta, are you listening? And I hope Nocta's listening. I mean, I'm trying to tell them, hey, here's what you need to do. Here's what you need to go about doing. You're close. You're very, very, very close, Nocta. So keep up the good work, and hopefully we could have a new machine on the market really, really soon. Digging Daryl says Debbie with I think he meant Debbie with MindLab. Debbie with MindLab said that they have over 100 engineers working on their detectors. Wouldn't surprise me if they come out with another amazing. Oh, well, he said Deus 2. Wouldn't surprise me if they come out with another amazing update for the Deus 2 to keep them on top. And that could be the case. I think that they've got to do something. Let's just say that. I don't think they're gonna be able to just rely on the Deus 2. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, I mean, well, they may release some additional coils or something. Yeah, that's kind of the route they went with the Deus one. The additional the HF coils.
Yeah, but Michael, here's the thing though. They could release that, and that's going to be great. But is that going to be enough? That's my question. Is that going to be enough to sort of keep them on top just with a coil release and a higher frequency?
I don't know. I mean,
Do
we'll have
you
to see
think
what
it
other
goes?
machines
I
come out
know,
on the
but
market.
that's the question I'm asking. So if they release another coil, let's say they release the 5x9, which I hope they do because I would love to have my hands on a 5x9. But if they release the 5x9, it's still part of the Deus 2 ecosystem, okay?
Right.
What if MindLab or Nocta release a machine that's got the better screen on it, that's multi-frequency, that still carries, all of those things that we know that it has made multi-frequency so successful? Would that be enough to keep them at the top? That's my question.
Well, it all depends. A lot of people love the Deus too, and a lot of people on here do, and they've had good luck,
Sure, they
using that machine. It's just, you just have to see what comes down the road, and
right.
and competition is a good thing. It keeps these companies
Exactly.
updating these machines and
Exactly.
making them better.
I'm glad that Nocta and MindLab and Garrett and Fisher and all these other companies are out there because they just make things better for all of us, the end user, the consumer, the customer. They're making it all better for us. And the more that they do that, the more that we are going to benefit as metal detectors, the more fines we're going to get, hopefully. And a lot of people like to say, well, hey, you got to still get over the target. And that is true. But if I'm picking a machine, I want the machine that's going to give me the best odds of finding something,
Right.
whether it's mixed in iron, whether it's in open ground, whether it's in a trashy sight loaded with aluminum? That's what I want to know. And that's the machine that I'm going to go with, the machine that's going to give me the best odds, period. You know,
Yeah.
if I'm in a site, I want to pick up the machine that I think is going to give me the best chance. Right now, to me, it is the XP Deus 2. It is. If I go into a trashy site, whether it be iron, modern trash, so on, that's the machine that I'm probably going to pick up first. But what I am going to say, and you and I have said this, I've got a Manicore back there. That Manicore does very, very well in modern trash. And you and I have pointed that out.
It does.
Right. James Bazell, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Stink-Ass Cat, always a great contributor. Thank you so much for the donation. That's a big donation. And again, that really pays for this live stream tonight because I pay almost $50 a month just to do these live streams. So thank you so, so much. And that keeps the live streams alive. And we appreciate that. And again, anybody else want to join in, you're more than welcome to. But thank you so much, Stink-Ass Cat. I really, really appreciate that so, so much. And hopefully we're giving some information and we're sharing some information that you guys are interested in, and it's something that you can take out and use right away too as well. So thank you so much. Frank's Flytrap says they need to improve those MI4 pinpointers tops from cracking. So there you go. So they're giving us some good suggestions. Frank's Flytraps, I will forward that along to XP. I think a lot of us have had that issue. You can buy a little cap for that. Michael, you told me about something the other day. What was something that you said that you used to put over that?
Well, I put a little, just a little lithium grease around the O-ring on it to keep it from seizing up. But I did see someone had actually 3D printed some stronger caps for the MI6 and the MI4 pinpointer. And if I'm not mistaken, I think it was on eBay. You know, they said they were stronger and held up better, the ones that they had made.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
So it is a known problem, you know.
Yeah. Lance says, doesn't First Texas own Fisher? I think they did. They did join together, didn't they? Is that right, Michael?
I think so. I think that's right.
I think they did. And Joel says yes. Edward G says technology is moving lightning fast. He's exactly right. Relics and Rings said MindLab stated in their annual report that they intend to focus on the treasure hunting market. So I'm sure we'll see a lot coming from them in the near future. Now, Relics and Rings brings up a good point, and Michael and I sort of alluded to that a few minutes ago. Could we see a new CTX machine, which I think could possibly be on the horizon? We don't know that for sure, but it would not surprise me for MindLab to come out with a new CTX. What do you think, Michael? You think that could possibly be?
I think that's a big possibility. I think, you know, they've been working on the machine. I don't think the Manicore is the top of the line flagship machine that, you know, we're going to see from MindLab. I think there's going to be another CTX shortly down the road. I don't think it's going to be too far either.
Right.
So, I mean, we'll just have to see, but I'm just speculating, but I think one's coming.
I would not disagree with you at all. I think that there is a CTX machine coming, and we're going to take off this poll. But anyway, Michael, let me take off this poll for a minute so we can get us back. There we go. All right. So I do think that a MindLab CTX improvement is coming sometime in the near future. And hopefully that happens sooner than later. And, you know, what other features is MindLab going to come up with on that machine versus the Manicore, which the Manicore is their flagship detector right now? What do you think we could see out of the CTX, Michael?
Well, you know, we have the 66-foot diving capability of the Deus 2, and I think they're going to they're going to go that route with the CTX. Because it was, I can't remember what it's waterproof to, but for its time, it was one of the more waterproof machines. When it was released,
Right.
and I think more diving capabilities. Of course, it's going to have the colored screen. I think they would stick with that, and who knows, new something to do maybe with we got a 2D screen, or we're going to see a 3D
Yeah,
screen.
could it be
You know
a
what I
3D
mean?
screen? I know. What is it gonna be that's gonna make it that much more better than the Manicore, which is
Right.
their flagship machine at this point? But could we see something different with the CTX that we didn't see with the Manicore? And I think that's gonna be interesting too. And I'm just blown away by the innovation, the technology, where we're headed. It's a lot to comprehend. That's why I think this is such a great topic for tonight, and to see what our viewers are thinking too, because I think everybody on here sort of has their own opinion on what they think is going to happen, whether they're an XP user, whether they're a Nocta user, whether they're a MindLab user, whether they're Garrett, Fisher, whatever it may be. We all sort of become fanboys to these companies, but that's not what this question is about. It's not about being a fanboy. It's about, what do we think is going to be the next big thing that these companies could possibly release, and which company is that going to be? And it's all speculation, but it's a fun topic to dive into.
Well, and I'm sure we're going to see some more updates coming down the road for the Manicore, for the Deus too. I
Right.
mean, like you said, it hadn't been too long ago they updated the Deus one, so they're still updating their machines.
Right. Right.
And who knows? I think there's more of an opportunity with the Manicore, with the color screen and the different features. They can really put some innovation into their updates and on that machine. And it's going to be interesting to see what they have down the road as far as updates, just updates for that machine.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. Exactly. Well, Stinkhouse Cat brings up a great point. He says, if XP goes through and they follow through with some of the things that we're talking about, it's game over. And I would agree with him on that, because
right,
I really think that XP, if they do the right things in 2024, they're going to be right in that mix, if not the number one metal detector in the entire world. My only thing I'm a little concerned about with them is their lack of marketing and promotion here in the United States. Are they dedicated to the US market, or are they? I don't know. That's what's got me sort of concerned about where XP is going. And you know, I don't know. I love the machine. I love what they're doing. I'm just curious as to where they're headed as far as their marketing campaigns and their advertising and their support here in the United States. That's where I think, there could be some things that are a little bit not necessarily on par with some of these other companies at this point. Is that not to say that they don't increase that and make that a lot better? That'll be what's going to be so interesting to me, Michael, is what they do to try to improve in the U.S. market. So what happens there? That's where I'm coming from with that.
right. What would you say the market? Would you say the UK has a bigger market than the US? I mean, what? How do you think that?
There's no way, but I'm going to say this: if you go and you look at the number one metal detectors in the United States, I think you're going to be shocked. I mean, a lot of us like to believe that it's MindLab or XP, but it's going to be those lower end machines. And I think that if XP releases some sort of lower end or lower tiered machine, that they could get into that mix and then pull the US market a little more than what they're doing with just the Deus 2. And the Deus 2 is a phenomenal machine. I love the Deus 2. I love going out and hunting with it. It's my number one machine. No question about it. But how are they going to stay relevant if they only stick with the Deus 2 when all of these other companies are pounding them with these lower tier machines, mid-price machines, and all they have is a premium machine? That's where I'm at right now with that. What do you think? You think I'm right, or you think I'm totally off base?
I think you're right, and I think you know I think they will have a lower end multi-frequency machine down the road. Because that seems to be the way these companies are going. That's a newer technology, but you got MindLab and you have Nocta releasing the lower end, lower cost. Which, I mean, you get a lot of good features with these machines. Don't get me wrong; it's just the price is
Right.
lower, and they
Right.
perform great. And
Well,
somebody said Bounty Hunter's the number one in volume, and I think I've read that.
right.
That's
Yeah. Bounty hunter. You know.
yeah,
So what are they going to do to get involved more in the US market? To me, it's going to have to be that you're going to have to release a lower end machine to keep up with some of these other companies
right,
and to generate more sales. Or at least that's where I'm at this point. And I deal with XP, and I again, I like XP as a company. I like XP Days too. They're awesome machines. That's all of it. That's my number one machine. I won't say that's all I've ever used because I've used all these back here, but I love those machines. And I want to see them change their marketing strategy, their business strategy, and go really after that other market and to get more representation here in the United States. I think if they do that, I think that they are on the right track and they can be the next big company that explodes, like MindLab, like Nocta. I think Nocta has really done a great job
yeah,
of attacking that lower end market, and they've made a living off of that lower end market. They've made a living off of that lower end market just in sheer volume of the
right,
machines that they probably sold with the Simplex, which I think was very innovative, and it reached out to a market that was neglected, that I think the Garrett really neglected, and then they became very successful. I think MindLab sort of counterpunched with the Xterra Pro to try to alleviate some of that hemorrhaging that they were seeing. And what's XP's move?
Well, for years, the Garrett A series, that was your lower end machine, your starter machine.
Yeah,
And, you see these other companies coming out with more advanced entry level machines. And, even the multi frequency machines in the same price range as the A series. So, it's like you said, it's moving, technology's moving fast, and, you're getting more for your money. Um, Nowadays than you were in the past as
yeah,
far as machines go.
right, right. And there's so many comments, Michael. I know we've missed so many because I've been sitting here running my mouth, and I know we've been just sort of talking. And there's a lot of good information. Ricky Bennett says XP needs more marketing reps in the US, more than one person. And I've made that sort of clear too. And I like Merrill. I think Merrill is going to do a great job, but I really believe he needs more assistance. And I'm more than happy to help them out. And you guys all know, I know that XP machine just as good as anybody. And, I would love to help XP out on that front. But they've got to decide what they want to do. And, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen there. But XP, again, I think really needs to focus more on the U.S. market. That's where they're going to generate the most sales. They've got a beach machine. They got a relic hunting machine now. They need to focus on this market. And I think that their sales will take off. And if they release a lower end machine, I think that's going to help them too in that aspect. And I think it's going to be really, really good. Don't you think so, Michael?
I think you're right. I think it will be.
Yeah, Nick Haas has a great point. Ability to fine tune multi frequency algorithm with a graphic equalizer type interface. That's a super idea. I like that.
Yeah.
Stink Ass Cat says the Finds and Treasure magazine I subscribe to, all mostly Deus 1 and Deus 2, they seem to take their time in getting. All right, guys. Sorry, we had a power glitch right here in the middle of the live stream. So hopefully everybody can hear me. Hopefully Michael comes back on. Michael, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. We had my power flick. So, but anyway, I'm back and sorry guys. I'm sorry that happened. There's nothing I can do about that. It's just the power went out all of a sudden. So hopefully nobody hit a light pole or something crazy like that. Yes. So yeah, we're all good. So Michael, we were we were carrying on with what some of these companies are going to do, and yeah, Tim Man said it just like that. Yeah, that was the cancel culture. I guess, Michael. I guess we got
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So again, I think that Joel says send money now. I apologize, guys. I'm sorry that happened. But I think, again, Michael, I think that we're heading into some new territory. And I think that what we're going to see is going to be something amazing over the next few months, maybe. Which company is going to really seize on the opportunity to gain ground on the other, and which company is going to excel. I think that's going to be the thing that is going to be interesting to watch. Don't you think so?
I think it will be. We got Iffy in here. What's
Oh,
he
if
like?
he's yeah, if you just missed the power outage, we just had a power glitch. My computer, everything shut down. And but anyway, we got it back up and running. But Fly Rock, thank you so much for the super sticker. I really appreciate that. And again, maybe it'll help go to keep that from happening in case I
Right.
have a power surge or a power blackout. But again, if he is in here, so if he could probably elaborate on this topic a little more, if he, and I'm going to ask him this, and he can comment over in the comments. If he wants to join, he can join in live. He has the link. But if he, what do you think? What do you think is what company is on the verge of making a big jump in 2024 in the metal detecting world? Let's see what Iffy says. So Iffy is in here with us, and we're going to see what Iffy says because Iffy, again, very knowledgeable. Iffy tests metal detectors. I rely on Iffy a lot. Michael talks to Iffy a lot.
He
And
said Geico.
Geico, Iffy, give us a good answer. We want to hear what metal detecting company you think is poised to make a big jump in 2024. What do you think, Iffy? And again, Michael and I talk to Iffy on a frequent basis. Of course, Calabash does too. And Iffy definitely knows these machines. He knows these companies just as well as I do, and just as well as Michael does. And we always love having Iffy in here to elaborate and share his opinions and his ideas on what's going on in the metal detecting world. And Iffy, again, is a good friend of both Michael and I and Calabash. And we are Blasted Cat said power bill money. Well, look, I can't help it if somebody hit a power pole or something. I don't know what happened. It just glitched on me.
Right.
But anyway, we're back up and running. Um, so I don't know that if he wants to answer that question. Nick Haas says XP really needs to figure out a better solution for the waveguide. Okay, all right.
He said, seems like not that is on a mission, would
Yeah,
like to see the U.S. get back in the game. But
yeah,
that's what we talked about,
right.
you know.
And and if he's under the same opinion that Michael and I are, we believe that Nocta is on the right track of being the next breakout company with a breakout machine if they keep going the way that they're going. And again, you're hearing that from Iffy, who's tested all these machines. Um, Guys, I've got 10 machines back there, and I can tell you, I sort of see the differences between these machines. And I really like what I'm seeing from Nocta at this point and them gaining ground on some of these other companies. I love their marketing strategy. I like their research and development. I think that they're very responsive. They're very proactive, is the word that I like to use. And I think that they realize what they need to do to get to that next level. Don't you, Michael?
I think you're right. Yeah, I mean, we've seen them grow leaps and bounds, you know, and I think we're going to see some good stuff from them in the future for sure.
Right. Nick Haas brings up a great point, Michael, and you and I have talked about this. I'm tired of the XP charging clips too. We either need wireless charging or just adopt the charger from detecting doodads.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Right.
So
And those are little things, but those are little things that mean something to everyone. Why are we still having to use the regular USB port? Why are we not on USB C with these machines, Michael? What do you think?
well, yeah, I mean, USB C should charge faster, and I know um, the pinpointer it is USB C. I was glad to see that, you know, and I know
Right.
Yeah, a lot of the XP equipment is still using the micro USB to
Right.
charge, but
Well,
USB-C is the
they're
way to
either
go.
using micro USB or they're using regular USB instead of USB-C, which almost everything now has gone to USB-C. Even
Now
the
the Extreme Hunter does have the USB-C,
Yes,
right?
it does. It does. It
Yeah,
does have USB-C, but why ain't XP going that route? You know, why
right.
haven't and I'm with Prospectors Cash. Why haven't they come up with some sort of wireless charging? Maybe you could take the remote off and set it down on a charger and let it charge. There are a lot of things that they could do to improve on the design. The other thing that that's just something minute, but the little clip that the remote slides onto
Yeah,
constantly constantly stretches out, and then you got to buy a new one. You know,
right.
the engineer that designed that, he needs to go back to the drawing board and come up with something else.
Right, it's a nice feature to be able to take that remote off and put it in your pocket, but you know, you wanna be able to take it off and put it on and not have a problem over time, and it is a problem, it's a known problem.
Right. I mean, we're getting people on here, and a lot of us are loyal XP users. Don't tread on me. A very loyal XP user. He says, I hate the DS2 9-inch coil covers. They pop off. He's
Right, they
exactly right.
do.
They come off very easily.
Yeah.
Um, yes, yes. Be proactive, not reactive. That's exactly right. Proactive means that you do it before it happens. You go ahead and plan for that. React.
Joel said he likes the MindLab magnetic charger. Well, I wish we would have seen that charger on the Profine 40, some type of, where you can use that same magnetic charging, maybe like remove a cover and you could use that same charger you can use on the Manicore, the Equinox, the Xterra Pro to charge that pinpointer instead of using a battery. It's not even rechargeable.
Right, right. Tin Man says the charging on the MindLab Xterra is nice. It's just like all the other MindLab products with that magnetic charger, which,
Yeah.
it goes on there pretty easy. And I think a lot of people would like to see that with the XP. Of course, the charging cable that you and I recommended with that just plugs into the back is a nice charging cable too, right, Michael?
Yeah, yeah, I like it. I mean, I mean, just a little thing like that, it saves you a little bit of time, and the effort to use it,
It's just, and it's a lot of the little things too that we're
Right.
talking about that that could be improved or enhanced on. But for whatever reason that hasn't happened. I think there could be a lot of accessories that XP could release. Whether they bought the accessory from someone else who's done a great job of designing. And somebody else brought up one too, the 3D printed container, which I have one of those too as well. I'm not a big fan of that one. And I know it's great for when you get in the water, you definitely don't want your remote to get knocked off. But when you're out on land, I mean, I don't know. I'm just not crazy about it. What do you think about that enclosed container, Michael?
I don't have one. I mean, a lot of people like that
Yeah.
enclosed container. I mean, it's
Well,
just
and I understand why they like it. They like it because they're afraid that their remote will get knocked off and they don't have to
yeah.
worry about it with it enclosed in that container. And that's great, but I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of it. There's one that's sort of slanted to the side and there's one that's straight up. You can get them 3D printed by, whoever has a 3D printer.
Well,
Um,
well, here's an idea, guys. We've heard of people, losing their remotes,
mhm.
getting on off. We have the XP app
Yeah.
with GPS capabilities. So could there not be a remote finder function on that app? I
Yeah.
mean, that would be a great feature to have. I mean, that would save you. I mean, that's a big chunk of money, that remote. If it got knocked off and you had your phone, maybe
Right.
you could. use that GPS function to find your remote.
Michael, I mean, I don't think I've even told you this story, but when I first got my XP Deus 2, I'd only had it like maybe 2 or 3 weeks. I went out middle of the day. I could not, my remote fell off. I could not find my remote. And I had walked a mile because I had it on a backpack and didn't realize that it was gone until I, dropped my backpack and went to pull it off my backpack. Michael, I freaked out. Let's just say I really freaked out. I went back and walked every step that I took back to the truck where I was at. And luckily, you'll love this. Luckily, it had fallen off in the truck before, because I'd had it on my backpack all along, but it had fallen off in the truck and it was laying in the floorboard of the truck. So I was so lucky. But you talking about sweating? Oh my gosh, I was sweating. Yeah, definitely.
You had to put your Apple AirTag
I
on your
know. I
remote.
just think Apple AirTags and just be done with it. Don't worry about it. And then that
Right.
way you could find it. But even then, you still run the risk of not being able to find it. Don't Tread on Me says his controller stays in his pouch, Michael. Iffy Signal says the Nocta MindLab battle will most likely continue. I'm sure there are many projects in the works by both. I think so too. I think Iffy's right on target with that. Would not surprise me that MindLab comes out with something by the end of the year. Would not surprise me if Nocta comes out with something to improve on the Legend. I would love to sort of help Nocta with that. If they're interested, then I'm more than happy to help. But Nocta definitely, MindLab definitely, and even an XP2 as well. I think all three of them are going to be jockeying for position throughout 2024. But I feel like MindLab is sort of in the right position to make a big jump in 2024. So,
Right.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Edward G says, I think the little things that make the difference where Nocta tries to incorporate by listening to the end users, where some of the others don't in some situations. What do you think about that, Michael?
I think that's true. They're listening, and a lot of these companies are starting to listen to the consumer more, and we're seeing changes, whether it be with updates or the newer machines coming out. It's just, and hopefully, that's we're the ones using the machines, and day in and day out. They need to listen to the consumers and make the changes,
Right.
make a better machine.
Edward G's definitely on it. He said these companies have to listen to the users and make the changes that improve, like the charging cables and locking slot for the remote. We're telling them what we want. They've got to listen. Which
Right.
company do y'all feel listens the most to the end user? Is it XP? Is it MindLab? Is it Nocta? Is it Garrett? Who listens more to the end user? That's a great question there by Edward G, which I like so much. If he if he says Garrett is due for a new camo model this year, I sure hope Garrett really gets on it. A lot of us want to see a USA machine, and hopefully that happens. And I'm with everybody else. I'd love to see a USA machine. I just wish Garrett would eventually jump on and get something out there that could rival some of these other machines as well. Wisconsin Tech says, I reached out to XP about my clip from warranty, and it was such a hassle that I brought a new remote holder. And again, they could improve that. They just need to work on their research and design, and definitely gonna do. Prospectors Cash says, of all these companies, he believes that Nocta listens the most. Wow. Yeah, and that's true. I think so. I think you're exactly right, Prospectors Cash. Of everybody, I believe that Nocta does listen to the end user more than XP and MindLab for whatever reason. Nick Haas also agrees with Prospectors Cash. Nocta listens. They listen to what the end user wants, what the consumer wants, and what their customers want. And that's where I think that they do a great job. I just said that earlier. And it's, what else can you say? They do a great job of that. What do you think, Michael? What do you think about Nocta? I mean, I know you don't have a Nocta machine. I've got 3 Nocta machines over there right now.
Well,
And
I've used some of the ones that you have, and I mean they seem to be great machines, and they're competitive as far as finding targets and the features on them with the Deus 2 and the Manicord, the Legend especially. I mean they're on the cusp of innovation, and we're going to see some good things from them down the road for sure.
I think we will too, Michael. I really believe that 100% from from them, and they just do. I think they just do a really good job of customer service. They do a good job of marketing. They're visible here in the United States. I see all of that from Nocta, and I think that Nocta is definitely on the right track. And who knows what they're going to do in the coming months, but I just think that they're very, very close to breaking out. And that was what this whole video or this whole live stream was about. What company do we feel is going to be the breakout company? And a lot of us are agreeing that it's going to be Nocta. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Flyrock says Delic is the biggest difference, I think. Delic is very responsive to customer issues, customer complaints. She does a good job, of handling those types of things. And to her credit, she takes care of those things too. And that's something big too, I believe. Um, Finders Keeper says my lab is arrogant. That's no secret. And a lot of, I don't know, I've heard this too. I haven't had really a lot of dealings with MindLab, even though I got a few MindLab products over there. But MindLab has never been responsive to me if I've ever reached out to them. So I might even agree with Finders Keepers. I could help MindLab a lot, but they don't seem to, want my help, and that's fine. That's fine. I still think they make a great product. I still think they do a good job of marketing. They have a person that travels and goes to these events. She represents them at these events. They market their materials very, very well. The only thing I can criticize MindLab about is their lack of being able to support the products, especially with these last series of machines and coils and all sorts of things. I think they were really weak in responding to their orders, to their support for those
Right.
things. And so
Distribution of their product is really, where they've had a lot of problems getting these coils out, getting the machines out, since the 800.
right. Matthew McCann says Nocta has nowhere to go but up, and I would agree. I would agree with Matthew. I think Matthew's dead on it. Flyrock says Delic is everywhere: forum, Facebook, all the social apps, which is correct. The dealings that I've had with Delic have been nothing but positive, and she has represented herself with class. She's done exactly what I think she needs to do to protect her company. I mean, she's out there pumping her company constantly, and I think she does a great job of doing that. She is out there. She is visible. She does respond to posts. She responds to emails. She's really responsive, and she listens to what's going on. That's the good things I can say about Nocta. Let's see. Prospector's Cash says Deus 2 is most configurable. Right. Nocta listens. MindLab is prettiest, and Garrett has a duck call with your detector. And Prospectors, and I hate to say that. He's exactly right. I just wish Garrett would be a little bit better with that. If he's got a good comment. MindLab's Manny is a badass machine, but really expensive. With the economy, Nocta is talking a lot of sales away due to the cost difference. XP's WS6 Master is a great deal, but that does not come with the headphones. And just, the WS6, the thing with it is a great deal. It is a good machine because you're getting Deus 2 performance in that machine. But then again, the drawback to the WS6 is what, Michael? Tell them.
As far as you don't get the waterproof feature, you don't get the XY screen, and you don't get the headphones. It would be nice to see a WSA2 backbone, even if it was just a little increase in price with
Right.
that machine.
Put the WSA2 headphones with the WS6, sell it as that.
Right.
And I don't know.
But other than that, performance-wise, it
Well,
matches.
performance-wise, it's great.
Yeah.
But for a lot of people, I think one of the big drawbacks is going to be the size of that unit, the small screen, the buttons, they could do a better job with the buttons. And again, I think XP can handle that. I think that if they come out with a lower end machine, maybe a little bit lower than the WS6, or they lower the price of the WS6 and come out with something else with a little nicer screen, a little more stuff that you could do with it, I think they're on the right track. But they've got to find out something that they can release that's going to rival some of these lower tier machines, like the Nocta Score, like the Xterra Pro, like the MindLab Vanquish, like the Legend. They're going to have to go in that range. But the Legend I don't consider as a lower end machine because it's just got so many dang features on it, and but these other machines below $500, XP could go after those machines if they release something that sort of goes along with the same thing and offer that great performance that XP does. Don't you think?
I think so. Yeah, I agree with that.
I think so too. Edward G says, I would rather stick with Nocta at this point, knowing if I have a problem, they will respond to fix my machine and replace it if need be. There you go. I mean, he's just basically backing up what I've said. Get That Treasure says that Quarter Hoarder is probably responsible for a few Legend sales for sure. Yeah, Quarter, that's hard to say. Quarter Hoarder does a great job of representing Nocta, and I know he does a good job of showing that machine on his channel. And he's probably sold a few Legend machines. I like the Legend. I like the Nocta Double Score, and I like the Nocta Score. I've used all three of those machines, and they all perform very, 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 very well. If he's on here, he's used all three. He will tell you probably the same thing. They are very good machines for sure. Finders Keeper says, I like how XP just sits back and stays out of the bickering. They come across very professional. Well, Finders Keepers, I would agree with you on that part. But the problem that they've got is they have got to figure out what they're going to do with the U.S. market. You can't just, to me, you can't just sit back with the Deus 2 without moving forward in some way, whether it's an update, whether it's a new machine, whether it's a lower end machine. They have got to respond to this, and hopefully they'll respond real soon. And I don't know whether they will, but they need to. And I think right now they might be taking a little bit of a hit from some of these other companies as these other companies begin to release new machines. They begin to release things that could possibly rival the Deus 2. And it's again that separation is closing very, very fast. And I love the XP Deus 2. I love using that machine, and I'm praying that XP comes out with something that can rival and compete with some of maybe even the lower end machines, as well as some innovation, more innovation for the XP Deus 2, which I think is coming. I think we will see a 5x9 coil. I think we will see an update to the software. I think we will see all of these things from XP, and I think they'll do a great job of it. They always do. Don't you agree, Michael?
I agree, and I mean, as far as performance goes, they're right on par. But it's just some features, that we'd like to see on, what we've talked about, upgrades.
Right. We would love to see a color. We'd love to see a Deus 2 with a colorized screen, maybe a little bit easier user interface to be able to move around. We would love to see the clip improved. We would love to see the coil cover improved. We would love to see new charging capabilities for it, whether it be wireless, whatever. But there are a lot of things that we can definitely see that XP could do to make that machine so much better. And hopefully that's going to happen in the near future. Damian Thorne says, I can't wait to shell out another $2,000. Well, maybe it won't be that much, Damian. We don't know. We don't know what the price of a new CTX would be, but we'll see. Maybe they've got something coming in the near future. Don't Tread on Me says, yeah, if they just sold the WS6 back phones, then you would have the option. Should be a price issue, right? And I think too, if they could just put the WS6 headphones or the WSA headphones with the WS6 Master, put a good price on it, they could sell bukus of those machines. I know that for a fact.
I offer that as an option.
Right. Yeah, they should offer that as an option, and maybe they will. Prospectors Cash says, why are no other companies looking at bone conductor headphones? That's a good question.
Yeah.
Why not? Why doesn't Anocta have bone conductor headphones for the Legend? Why doesn't MindLab have bone conductor headphones for the Equinox or the Manacle?
For water hunting, that's the way to go. Well, we've seen that,
Right. Tim Man says, but you have to hand it to XP for building a second complement to existing units. Exactly. So when you originally bought the XP Deus 2, you did get two machines because you got a WS6 and you got a Deus 2 when you first bought that machine. And so you did get two machines. So they do complement each other. In fact, I took my WS6 and I created a whole nother machine out of my WS6 headphones. And then I got a pair of WSA2s and I got a pair of WSA XL2s. And, so I had some extra machines because I had a WS6. So that's also good. Let's see. Damien says he bought all three coils, which is awesome. And we've had that conversation about coils. Edward G says, I will say I would not be against going with the Deus 2 or Manicore in the future if the cost will come down as well. And we may see that, Edward G. We may see something, that is a little bit less expensive. Maybe not all the features that you would see on the Manicore or the XP Deus 2. Maybe a better screen. Who knows? But that's going to be interesting. T-Birds Diggin says they probably will make an ORX multi-free. They could.
Yeah, they could.
That could definitely be one. MindLab customer service is great. Had to send the Manicore back and received a new pod in 6 days. Well, that's great to hear. Yeah. Definitely. Greg Nichols says Deus is the Lamborghini of detectors. Wouldn't want to see them build a Chevy or a Ford. Well, Greg, and I agree with you. If I'm going out metal relic hunting right now, it's going to be the Deus 2. But I'm thinking about the market more so than my personal self and Michael going out hunting, we think that in order for them to keep pace, they're going to have to sort of go with where the market is going. And the market is going to the lower tier and lower end machines. I don't know that they're going to be able to just survive off of the Deus 2. What do you think, Michael?
Well, I mean, time will tell. I think, yeah, I do think they need to come out. Which they had, like you said, they had the WS6 Master. If they had supplied that optional headphones, that would help them out a lot there too. And that is kind of their lower. I mean, it's not really cheap, but I mean, $6.99. It's not too bad.
No, it's not bad. And you're getting Deus 2 performance with the WS6, which again, I have no problem with. I just think that there are some things that they could do to improve that lower end, or what we would consider the lower end of that machine, and it could happen. And if he brings up a great point, and you and I have talked about this too, Deus 2 is my relic machine due to the bunched up IDs. Does not make it the best coin hunting machine though. To me, that goes to the Manicore. Great VDI spread for US coins. So, and we've talked about this, that bunched up VDI really makes it easy, especially for you and I, of deciding on that dig and not dig situation. You've used the Manicore. I've used the Manicore. Of course, if he uses the Manicore. And that's one of the things that we've noticed, that we've sort of had to go in and start trying to dig everything. In other words, we might not have dug some of those signals,
Right.
but because we were using the Manicore, we didn't know those numbers quite so well, and so we ended up digging it because of the spread out VDI. What do you think about that, Michael?
Well, as far as relic hunting, it kind of forces you to, like you said, dig more targets with the mana cord, just because there's a wide range of BDI that a relic can come in, as opposed to the DS2. So
Right.
it kind of makes you dig more targets, which I don't think is a bad thing. We found
Oh yeah.
buttons with it down in the teens.
Yeah, and the teens, the 20s, um,
Right,
numbers that we probably would have never dug before. And we're
right,
digging
right,
those because of that spread out scale on the Manicore VDI. And whereas with the Deus, we know those bunched up VDI numbers pretty well, and we might pass on some of those. And maybe some of those signals we might have should have dug in some cases. We will never know, will we, Michael?
right. Yeah, you won't.
Right. Daredevil Detectives in here. Rob's in here. Glad to have you in here, Rob. We got a couple of people just popping in. And I know we're going long tonight, but it's just been a great conversation. Prospectors Cash says yes, XP stays out of the bickering, but keeping customers informed on what is coming would help their marketing. And I agree with you, Prospectors Cash. I think that they can do a better job here in the United States. And, that's one of the things I think that they're going to be focusing on in the near future. I may be a part of that. I may not be a part of it. I don't know. But I'm here to help them as much as I can with recommending their products, showing their products, and so on. Of course, you guys know I'm a loyal XP user, and I've been that way for a very, very long time. But I am here to try to help them as well. They've been very generous to me. They've been very kind to me as well. And I am here to help XP, but I'm trying to also help them by giving them recommendations for things that they can do to help improve and make this market sort of ignite or catch fire. And that's what we're trying to do tonight, is to really sort of try to bring out some of those things as we see a lot of these companies gaining ground on XP, like Nocta, like MindLab, maybe Garrett. But that's what we're trying to do tonight, is to try to bring those things out. And you guys are doing a great job because everyone on here has some fantastic ideas. Don't you think so, Michael?
Yeah, I think so. We got some very smart people on here that experienced detectives, and they know what they're doing.
Sure
You
they
know,
do. Sure they do. And I love the days too. I'll go out and I'll hunt with that days too. Michael knows I love my days too, don't I, Michael?
yeah, he does. He's good with it.
And it's my go-to machine. There's no question about it. If I'm going on a relic site, that's the first machine I'm pulling out. After that, yeah, who knows? Who knows what I'll use? But all of these machines are good machines. These companies are gaining ground on each other, and they all can perform as long as you get to learn them and know them.
Right.
Michael was sort of resistant to the MindLab Manicore. Now, after using it a few times, what do you think about it, Michael?
It's a great machine. I mean, it has its place, and I mean, you can take it and find, you know, you can find it's really close in performance to the Deus too. It
Right,
really is. I
right,
mean, it didn't take long, most time of using it to figure that out. You know.
right, exactly. LC Hunt says, XP is just sitting back and resting on its laurels. But that's what I'm telling them right now. That could be their downfall. Don't sit back on your laurels. You got to keep the foot on the gas. You got to keep pushing. Otherwise, these other companies are really close to you at this point. You've got to figure out how to separate yourself from those other companies. And it's going to come in the US market, not in the European market, not in the Asian market or wherever else you're looking at. It's going to come in the US market. That's where most of your sales are going to be generated at. Don't you agree, Michael?
I agree with that.
I do.
I
I
do.
do. We've got some fantastic people in here tonight. Rob's in here tonight. You need to go check out Rob and Charlie on Sunday mornings. Great channel. I know a lot of you already check out their channel, but they do a fantastic job on Sunday mornings. Super great guys. And Rob is very knowledgeable. Charlie's very knowledgeable, and they do some great giveaways too. Which we're going to get to those in just a few minutes. We're going
You
long.
still got to show the fines.
I know I haven't even shown the fines. We've just been going and going and going. But this has been such a good conversation. Keep your eyes open for used days too. The warranty follows the machine if you have the original receipt. Yeah, there you go. I use WS6 as my land machine, WSA XLs with 11-inch coil. There's 2 coil controller with the 9-inch for my water machine. I use wristwatch mount for WS6. Great setup. Detector 2 Guns says, I just bought the WSA 2 XL headphones, and they are awesome. I love the WSA 2 XLs. Super headphones. Nick Haas says XP needs wireless earbuds for the hot southern summers. What do you think about some wireless earbuds, Michael?
That would be pretty neat. I would
Oh,
be interested in that.
I would like that too. So maybe that's something too that we can refer to them. On a known productive site with little iron and modern trash, I recover everything with VDI of 10 and up. And Ben, I don't which machine are you referring to, but I'm sure sounds like it's probably the Manicore or the Equinox, right? Iffy Signal says, yes, Relics, Amazon owns the market. How many people out there other than us, nut jobs, know the names MindLab, Nocta, and XP? All people know is they see a cool treasure show on TV and go to Amazon with $100, right? And that's what we're saying on here. They have got to try to capture some of that lower end market. And I think Nocta's done a great job of that. I think Garrett's done a great job of that. MindLab's done a great job of that too. We've seen all of that. Gary N says they can make a remote bigger without adding much weight. I agree. I'll help you teach if they need a little Wisco to bring the boy to the yard. Okay. Finders Keeper says it actually beats the Deus 2 in certain areas. Relics and Ring says MindLab Xterra Voyager is currently one of Amazon's best sellers. And he again brings up what I just said earlier. If you go
149, right?
if you go and you look on Amazon, what are the best selling metals? They're the lower end machines. Now, again, $149, $179. They can create a lot of volume with those types of machines, which can make up for a lot. Right, Michael?
That's right.
Right. Edward G says, after using the Legend for over a year now, the one thing I would change on the build is the arm cuff. Even with the updated arm cuff, it's still a little small for my forearms with the Velcro strap. I agree. And it would not surprise me to see not to come out with a Legend Pro or a Legend 2 or something along those lines, because the Legend has been very, very successful. And when they finally got all the updates into it, it's a great machine. It really is. I'm trying to get all these comments, Michael. Some of the internal manufacturing strengths show at XP. Keep in mind that they can make about 50 to 100 of those PCBs on one panel, not outsourcing to contract manufacturers. Very good point. Very good point. They make most of what they put into the Deus 2 right there in France, but that might be the problem right there in itself. Because if they're making most of that stuff there or putting all that stuff together in France, could be leading to an increase in manufacturing costs. What do you think, Michael?
It could, I would say they're as far as cost of items and labor is probably similar to ours here.
Yeah. Lance wants to know, Rob, are you going to have a Super Bowl show on Sunday? I'm sure he is. He's going to have a Sunday morning show for sure. And Rob says, Lance having my 35th annual Super Bowl party, but it ain't going to be live. There you go. So we got, let's say, Amazon had WSA2 XLs almost $50 less than everyone else. Right. And XP is doing a really good job of promoting their XP USA Amazon store. We'll put a link up too for you guys to click on. That you can go to that Amazon store and buy anything XP related, but it will be in the description after the video is over with, and you guys can click on it. I'll give you a special link, which sort of links to me too. But anyway, you can click on that link. You can go there and you can buy some XP products if you're interested. But our main person for selling these machines is Mr. Joel, Mr. Fly Rock, who's on here right now. Mr. Joel, Buy, Sell, and Trade USA, 775-388-8277 at leebelt@gmail.com. Joel can get you hooked up, and he is our exclusive dealer on Southern Relic Adventures. Joel does a wonderful job. He's a great communicator, gets your stuff out to you fast. Give him a try, give him a shout. He will definitely get you hooked up with the equipment that you want as soon as possible. So give Joel a shout. Contact information is below, and Joel can get you hooked up on some great merchandise from all of these different metal detecting manufacturers that we're talking about tonight. Fly Rock says that XP needs a Super Bowl commercial. That's true. Yeah. Look, let me tell you something. I doubt they will pay the money for a Super Bowl commercial.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I know. Let's see here. Savannah Harps is on here, Michael. He says, has anyone tested how far the DS2 antenna can be from the WS2 and still work if the coil is submerged in water? I have not tested that, so I'm not real sure. I know it works a good distance, though, Savannah Harps, because I have hooked my antenna up and have gone in the water, but I'm not sure how far I can go because, I just haven't ventured off without the headphones or whatever connected. So anyway, Finders Keepers says, hey, we need the Deus 2 Taylor Swift edition. I agree with you. That might sell really good. The Deus 2 Taylor Swift edition. So there we go. Yes. Wisco Detect says, yes, is Savannah Harps. I lose it at 6 inches, sometimes less. With the WS2, I'm assuming he's talking about the WSA two headphones, right, Michael?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So he's saying he loses it at 6 inches. I've never tested that, but I haven't had an issue with that. But of course, I don't do a ton of hunting in the surf as much as probably what I should be doing. Maybe this year I will do more of that. Nick Haas says, I saw Merrill had a new looking black covered wave guide when he came back from France. I have not seen that. Have you seen that, Mike?
Mm-hmm.
No. And I've actually talked to Merrill recently too. In fact, we may have Merrill on the show coming up in the next few weeks. So stay tuned for that too, for you guys that are interested. Prospector's Cash says, as long as the antenna end is out of the water, controller will pick it up. And I think that's right too. And Prospector's Cash would know because he is a water hunter for sure. Nick Haas says the waveguide equals antenna wire, and I have not seen that. So, but yeah, I'll definitely be looking for that for sure. Edward G says, I put Taylor Swift's name on anything and put out commercials, we would have so many more detectors. Maybe I should just tag Taylor Swift on these videos. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, you would probably get more views.
All right, Michael, we've rambled around for a while. Let's do our finds. I know it's getting at the end of the show. I know we normally do it at the beginning of the show, but we dove right in. That was a very interesting topic. You know, which metal detecting company is going to emerge in 2024? We're saying right now it could possibly be Nocta. We could be wrong. It could be XP. It could be MindLab. It could be Garrett. It could be any of those companies. But the trajectory right now seems to be leaning towards Nocta. Now, if they can, sort of work out some of the things that they got going on, and if they do, then I think Nocta could be the next big company to emerge and come out with something really, really cool. That's not to say that XP or MindLab doesn't produce something or come out with something that is just going to blow all these other companies away. That could happen too as well. Right. But if you look at what's going on just right now in February of 2024, then we would say Nocta right now. That's just where I'm at right now. I think Michael's there. Y'all heard if he believes that too, that Nocta is a company on the move, a company that's got sort of the right kind of strategy moving forward to really make a big move in 2024. And we will see. And hopefully, I'll get to be a part of it. And hopefully I'll be able to show you guys some of the new things coming from Nocta, coming from XP, coming from MindLab as we move forward as well. So again, I'll look forward to that. But let's look at some of these finds, Michael. We've been rambling around for a while. Let's look at some of these finds. So finds of the followers. Here we go. Let's look at some of these fantastic finds. And I'm going to begin with saying that these finds are sponsored by Mr. Joel Liebelt himself. Buy, sell, and trade. He is sponsoring these finds, and we appreciate Joel so much. We're going to take G's thing down there, so off of there, and we're going to take our banner down because we got Joel's information up there. But anyway, these finds are going to be sponsored by Joel, and they are some great finds. And we appreciate Joel. If you're interested in a metal detector, you're interested in an accessory product, whatever it may be, give Joel a shout. Contact information is right here on the screen right now, and Joel can get you hooked up with whatever you need. So let's keep moving on. Our first find is by this gentleman down below, Mr. NC Relic Hunter. You want to elaborate on this find, Michael, or NC Relic Hunter?
It's a really worn Spanish half real, and found it in the field I've hunted, for years. Numerous times. I found it the first day out with the Manicore.
Michael, you got to be kidding me. You found that with the Manicore?
Yeah, first day out.
First day out with the Manicore, and the dude comes away with a piece of Spanish silver. Michael, that is a super, super, super fine. And I know it's worn. You and I have talked about it, but
Yeah.
wow, that's amazing. And it came out with the Mind Lab Manicore. And Michael, again, first time using the Manicore, and he goes out and digs a piece of Spanish silver. But you know what that means, don't you, Michael?
What's that mean?
You know what it means. Go ahead and say it.
No. What's it mean?
Michael, it's just like hitting a good golf shot.
Well, hell yeah, it's gonna go downhill from here.
It won't, though, buddy, because I know you very well. Michael's an excellent metal detectorist. He's getting used to the Manicore. He and I've had a lot of conversations about it. He had it set up properly, I believe, on the site that he was on, and it produced and came back with a excellent find for Michael. So excited for Michael. Congratulations, buddy. That is an awesome find, especially with the machine that you just started using. So,
There was actually a piece of can slaw in the hole after I dug it out, and I checked it again. There was a piece of can slaw in the hole with that.
right.
So it makes me wonder if that's why I missed it all those times, you know?
Right. And you and I had this conversation too earlier. We were talking about the Manicore seems to do really, really well with modern trash.
Yeah, it does.
Right. I think you're probably right. Guys, we got another great find. You're not going to believe some of these finds. These finds are awesome. So you guys need this. If you're still here, stick around because these finds are excellent. Let's look at Mr. Greg Nichols, who's on here right now. I think he is. Hopefully he hadn't left and didn't dip on us. Greg Nichols has got a seated half dime. And Michael, tell him what that other piece is.
It's a sword hanger.
It is a sword hanger, right? And that sword hanger is probably from a Confederate officer's uniform, more than likely. And we got a seated half dime, which is a beautiful coin. I put one up on my other sites, my Instagram, Facebook, and I even put it up on YouTube. So hopefully you guys have seen my half dime that I found not too long ago. But
That's the second half dime that he's dug in the last couple of months.
right, that is a beautiful half dime with a sword hanger. I love that. And guys, I do want to say this, not that we're patting ourselves on the back, but you'll notice the program that Greg is using. It is the sweeper program that we have featured here on the channel. Michael, that sweeper program is something special, isn't it?
Right. A lot of people love that program.
Right. And
You get a
Greg,
lot of comments on it.
Greg says second half dime in the last 2 months, off of this same site too. Isn't that right, Michael?
I don't know. I don't think it was off the same site, but it's in the same, pretty much in the same area there. You know,
Right.
but it's not off the same site.
It's not off the same site, but again, that's just a super, super, super nice find. So, Greg, we appreciate you sharing that find with us. And again, you guys that are interested in sharing your finds with us, you can always send your finds to sransc@gmail.com. What we may end up starting to do, Michael, is that if someone leaves their finds on the but I know some people don't have Facebook. But if you leave a find on Facebook or YouTube, or not YouTube, Facebook or Instagram or wherever, if you get in touch with me and you post them over there and you want me to share your find, then I'll be more than happy to do that. But also, too, you can always email it, sransc@gmail.com, and we will get your finds up on the live stream. Try to make it something fairly recent and give me sort of some of the specifics of where you find that, where you found it, how you found it. It doesn't necessarily have to be the specific location, but what state, what you were using, what machine you were using, maybe some of your settings and so on. If there's anything else you want to add to it, you could. So Nick Haas says second one, I'd have to buy one. I agree. Those half dimes are hard.
Yeah.
And they're so tiny. That's the thing with those half dimes. It's sort of like the Trime. The Trime is a tough target to find as well because they're thin, they're small, and they don't ring up a number that you would think it would be a really dig coin number, right, Michael?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's a lower number than you would expect for a
Yeah,
silver coin.
they're very small. I've actually dug two of those bad boys. So yeah, I love the half dimes. They're awesome. This is the crowning jewel, by the way, Mr. Jim Active. Don't tread on me metal detecting. Is that not sweet, Michael? What would you do?
It's a beautiful button. I mean, that's what we dream of right there.
Oh my gosh, yes. And that's the one button that I would just love to have. And Jim dug a George Washington inaugural button. And Jim is using the XP Deus 2. But what a beautiful, beautiful find by Jim. And super excited for him to dig that amazing find. I would love to have that button for sure. Yeah, that is absolutely beautiful. And I believe Jim lives up north. Don't tread on me. He can tell you where he lives if he wants. He may not want to tell anybody, but yeah, when he sent me this, he was so excited, and I was excited for him because I just know that this is just such a special button to a lot of people. It would be a special button to me, of course, with me being a history teacher. Just knowing that I'm holding a piece of history from that period when George Washington was elected president is just an amazing find.
That's an awesome button.
Yes, yeah, I know. So yeah, wow. Ricky Bennett says, "Wow." Matthew McCann says, "Wow, sweet button, beautiful condition." I'd shovel something like that. Don't if you hit that with your shovel, you would. Oh gosh, that would be bad, wouldn't it, Michael?
It really would. Make you cry.
Oh yeah. So he says he got lucky on that one, but it is a beautiful find. We wanted to share that. And again, I was super excited for him. And when he sent me this, I was just all over the place with it. And I was just letting him know, dude, that is so, so amazing to dig that button, because that's a button that anybody would want to have. Don't tread on me says he found that in chimney stacks in the bricks. And he said, doubt it was ever worn. Right. Digging Darrell says you can find that button on eBay for $9,875. It's a button, isn't it, buddy?
Wow.
Yeah. And Relics and Rings says, wow, nice button. Yeah. And again, we love being able to highlight our subscribers and our users, our followers on this channel. And Jim is one of our loyal subscribers, and we love showing his finds and showing everyone else's finds too. So congratulations, Jim. So this is from Jeff. I think it's Hero. I think that's how you say it. OUX. I'm not real sure. Jeff got a Drake bust here, which is a beautiful, beautiful coin. I think it's 1801, if I remember.
It's in good shape too. It's
it is. Shape. And he got a couple of buckles there. But that is an awesome, awesome, awesome coin. I love that coin. I don't have that coin. I have seen one. Calabash actually dug one with me one day. But Jeff is LC Hunt. So there we go. So now I know. Thank you, LC Hunt. I did not know that. So I appreciate him. So Jeff is LC Hunt. So LC, congratulations on this beautiful Drake bust. Is it 1801? Is that correct, LC? Tell me if it's not. But yeah, it's in great condition, definitely. And these are hard to find. Let's go to Texas. Wow. I would love to have that coin. I do not have that coin in my collection, but that is a great, great coin. And LC says, yes, it is an 1801. And Bell says, congrats, Jeff, 1801. Michael, what will we do with that 1801 Dre bust?
Add it to the collection. I mean, that's a beautiful find.
Oh man, it is. It is a super, super duper find. And Don't Tread on Me says, love them coppers. Congrats. Bell says, congrats, Jeff. And it is. That's a beautiful, beautiful find. And I was super excited to share LC Hunt's video, not video, LC Hunt's find on here. He says, very nice. Ricky Bennett says, way to go, LC. I love digging old coins. And David Frazier says, nice. So, yeah, that's a beautiful find there. An 1801 draped bust. Let's see if we got any more. I think that's it, Michael. Right, that is it. Guys, again, if you're interested in any metal detecting equipment, we got Joel here. Joel can get you hooked up with any detector, any accessory, anything you need. Buy, sell, and trade. 775-388-8277 or leebelt@gmail.com. He carries MindLab, Garrett, XP, and Nocta, which we all talked about tonight. And he can get you hooked up with the right equipment. So, again, check out Joel if you haven't already. We appreciate Joel. He's a big sponsor of the live stream. We always love recognizing Joel. We will have his contact information in the description after the video is over with. And we'll get you hooked up with Joel for sure. Treasure Hunter Neal says, awesome finds tonight. Yeah, those were some good ones. Michael, those were some of the best ones I think we've had, right?
Yeah, there's some great finds tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those are some that we rarely see. And I love showing things that people don't see that often. But it also helps people recognize what those finds are, especially some people that are on here that, might come across those finds and they might go, well, I don't know what I got. Well, hopefully tonight that helped you, and maybe you'll find something similar to what we showed tonight, right, Michael?
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, if you hunt long enough, you're gonna find something good.
That's
in good spots. I mean, that's just the way it is.
That's exactly right. Michael's exactly right. All right, Michael, real quick, we're gonna do our giveaway, and we're gonna put in the information here. And we're going to use our StreamYard giveaway tool. And we're going to be giving away, and we've done this over the last few. Well, let's see. Hang on one second, Michael. StreamYard giveaway. Let's choose our live stream. And we're going to be giving away an XP Go Terrain app subscription. And we're going to talk about some other things in just a minute. But the Go Terrain app, Michael, you want to tell them about the Go Terrain app?
The Go Terrain app has a GPS function. You can set land boundaries with it. It connects to your DS2 remote so you can see the VDI numbers and kind of see where you have walked by the GPS so you don't miss a spot. It's just an innovative thing. You can document your finds, take pictures, and it stores it on a cloud server, so you can go back and look at it.
Right.
So it's a really innovative app that XP has come out with.
Right. So the Go Terrain app is a great accessory. If you have a DS2 machine, it automatically connects to your coil. You can go to the settings button on the options menu. You can scroll down, find the Go Terrain. It will automatically connect to your coil, and it will actually give you a readout from whatever you swing over. So you can actually mark your target with the VDI number, and you can go and dig it. And once you dig it, you can actually mark it with a picture. You can leave a note. You can leave a video. And then all of this is stored in the cloud for you by XP. And we really appreciate XP helping us out with the Go Terrain app and providing that service. And we appreciate XP allowing us to be able to give these away on the channel. One other thing I did want to mention as we close out, Michael, I know we've been on here way longer than what we normally are, but one other thing I wanted to mention is our memberships. And you guys can check out the membership. I'm just going to mention that real quick. Let me hide our banner there, Michael, while people are. Our memberships, we are doing a special 10,000 subscriber giveaway for our members only. So if you are a member on the SRA True Relic Hunter level, which is $9.99, we're going to be doing some great giveaways from Nocta, some giveaways from XP, some giveaways from CKG, which is a sand scoop. We're going to be doing all of those things on the 10,000 subscriber giveaway. We are very, very close, guys. We're at 9,900 and something at this point. Get us to 10,000, and then we're going to have a special live stream that we are going to be doing for our members only now for those giveaways. So if we get to 10,000, if you're a member, you're going to have the opportunity to get in on the drawings for those prizes. And it is $9.99. All you got to do is click the join button on my page. When you click on this video, you'll see a join button down at the bottom down here. I think that's right, Michael. I'm pointing to it.
Right.
Yeah, it's in
we have a really good time on those members only live streams.
Oh, yeah, we have a great time, and it's a great chance to win some great prizes. We offer a monthly live stream for those members only live streams. So if you sign up, you get a special live stream. The live stream that is coming at the end of February is going to be on LiDAR. Surfside Dan's going to be joining in with us. He's going to be showing you how to access those LiDAR maps, where you can go to get those LiDAR maps, what you need to look for with those LiDAR maps, and so on. So it's well worth the $9.99 membership price to get that information. And Surfside Dan and I and Michael's going to be on here with us as well. We're going to be sharing that information with you, and you guys can ask questions and all of those things if you're signed up for the membership. LiDAR is a powerful tool, and if you guys don't know what LiDAR is, LiDAR actually strips away the foliage, the leaves, and so on, so you can actually see what's on the surface of the ground. If there's any old road beds, there's any old foundations for homes, whatever it may be, you're going to be able to find that using LiDAR map technology. And Dan and I, Michael, are all going to show you how to get to those maps, how to read them, what to look for in those maps, and so on. So that's going to be happening on our next members only live stream, as well as if we hit the 10,000 mark, which we should hopefully this coming week or this weekend actually, then we are going to have a special members only live stream with those giveaways from those companies. So if you're interested and you want to get in on that, sign up for a membership. Even if you only sign up for a month or two, that gives you access to some great information, access to some great giveaways, and so on for that membership. So, but again, I think once you get on it, you're going to realize, hey, this is very worthwhile. Most of the people that are on here do have a membership, and they will tell you that it is well worth the $9.99 for the information that we provide. And I think you guys will enjoy it. So sign up for a membership. Again, those memberships help keep this channel going and keep it alive. And we bring you great content. We bring you a lot of great discussion. We're going to be bringing some great guests on like I said, on some of these members only live streams, as well as on the regular live streams. We're not going to exclude the regular live streams. We're still coming to you on Fridays with those regular live streams. And you guys are going to be a big part of it. But sign up for the membership. Again, it helps the channel out. And we keep on rolling. And you guys can be a big part of that. So we got 13 people that are in here. And we appreciate each and every one of you being in here for the Go Terrain. Now, if you don't have a Deus 2, can you use the Go Terrain? Michael, can you use the Go Terrain if you don't have an XP Deus 2?
Right, you can use the GPS function. You can document your finds on it. You just won't be able to connect with that particular machine if you don't have an XPDS2 where you can see the VDI numbers. But you can use the GPS function and document your finds.
Right. So you can use that GPS function. It'll track you. It'll show you where you've been on a site. You just download the app. If you have an Android, you get a 3 months premium membership. If you have an Apple, you get a 1 year premium membership for the entire year. And if you have the premium membership, the other cool thing is if you're hunting with someone that has an XP Deus 2 and you have an XP Deus 2, you can sort of see the numbers that are coming up where those other guys are hunting. And it's actually pretty cool, isn't it, Michael?
Yeah, it really is. It's a fun feature in a group hunt.
Right. It really is. It is a super, super feature. And, it's just it's a great application. XP's done an excellent job in supplementing the Deus 2 with the Go Terrain. But if you don't have an XP Deus 2, this is still a very useful tool that anyone can use, and it will help track you. We got 15 entries in here so far. I know we got 43 people in here. We've only got 15. I'll give a few more. I'll give one more minute and see if anybody else signs up for it. But again, Go Terrain app, you can sign up for it. If you win, again, you will email me at sransc@gmail.com, and I will send you the code for the Go Terrain app. All you got to do is download it, put in the code, and then you're off and running for either Android or Apple. But when you do email me, please let me know whether you're using an Apple phone or whether you're using an Android phone. And that way I can give you the proper code for your phone. Okay. So, Michael, you think we're about ready to draw?
Spin the wheel.
You ready to spin the wheel?
Yeah.
The wheel of death?
Yeah.
We'll see. Let's see what happens here. Let's see who's going to be our lucky winner tonight. Again, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. Damian Thorne says, thanks. He said, that's because everyone has won but me. Damian, you did win. You did win. So you being on here is a win. How about that, Damian? And Edward G says, I haven't either, Damian. Right. So look, is Aggie in here?
He's on vacation.
Matthew McCann says he won. He says he'll sit this one out. He said, I won last week. Ricky Bennett says SRA camo t-shirt. It's a great idea. Michael, you think you can hook me up with some SRA camo t-shirts?
Yeah, we can find some.
Yeah, we're going to have to do that. We're going to start giving away some SRA merch too on the channel. If you guys are interested, some of you may say, well, I don't want to wear SRA stuff, but we might end up doing that as a prize for some lucky person too. So maybe we'll do that. New England Land and Sea says found an 1806 larcent yesterday in a cornfield and a massive pocket of full of can slaw. What can I do to help with cutting back on aluminum? Aluminum is the toughest one, isn't it, Michael?
It is. It's hard to avoid that. I mean, if it's smaller pieces, on the Deus 2, you can notch, what would you say, maybe up to 35 or 40.
Yeah.
And that'll knock out a lot of the smaller.
Yeah, it's just so hard because aluminum's just,
right.
it can come in all over the place in some cases.
Yeah.
Whether it's small, big, it can come in the 50s, 40s.
Right.
But it can also, it can also go all the way up into the 70s and 80s too as well. Tim
Right.
says hashtag NC Field program. What do you think about that, Michael?
Yeah, it works good. I mean, it does. I mean,
It does. And I've got a great find that I've shared on my Facebook channel and stuff like that, using that NC Field program. If you haven't seen that, go check out my Facebook, the Southern Relic Adventures, or my Instagram. You'll see what I found with the NC Field. I like sharing you guys' finds, but I found this one with the NC Field. Matthew McCann says he'll wear a camo SRA shirt. So, yeah, maybe we need to do that.
yeah.
Yes. Ben Boggs says, I need an SRA t-shirt, big boy size. Okay. Well, we might have to get those up. All right. So let's do our drawing real quick, Michael. And then we're going to get out of here. So here we go. Let's see who's going to be our lucky winner tonight. Somebody new? Is it going to be somebody new? DC Diggin is our lucky winner tonight. DC Diggin, send me your contact information and I will get the code out to you. It might be tomorrow or be Sunday, but I will get it out to you this weekend. So definitely send me your email, or just email me at SRA at gmail.com, SRANSC at gmail.com. And we will take care of you. And I think you've already won something before. I think he has, hasn't he, Mike?
I'm not sure. He's not too far from me, but
yeah, I love that CSA button as his icon there. That's pretty cool. Yeah. DC Diggin. Yes, way to go, DC. Congratulations. Yeah, guys, we are going to be signing off, and we're going to DC Diggin. Don't forget SRANSC at gmail.com. Contact me. I'll send you your code this weekend, and you can sign up for your Go Terrain app. Make sure you tell me whether you have an Apple phone or an Android phone. It's 3 months for the Android, but it's 1 year for the Apple. So there we go. All right, Michael. Well, we've had a great show tonight. A lot longer than what I really originally planned, but it was some great conversation. I enjoyed talking about these companies. I enjoyed, everybody and where they were with these companies, what they thought, and I thought it was really interesting. What'd you think?
I think it was. I enjoyed it. It's good to hear everybody's perspective on what they think, on these companies and where they're moving forward. So, I'm glad we had this discussion.
It was a good discussion, and I think that we're all going to be watching to see what happens with these companies and where we go from here. Who's going to be the big dog of 2024? Is it going to be Nocta, like we predicted? Is it going to be XP? Is it going to be MindLab? Is it going to be Garrett? Or is it going to be Fisher out of nowhere? I think this year is going to be interesting as technology is improving and these companies are sort of catching up to each other. And again, we're all the benefactors of that technology improvement as far as where we're going. And who knows where the future's going with all of this new stuff. But I think it's going to be great. We had a wonderful show tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you that stayed till the end. And hopefully you got something out of this. Hopefully it was an interesting conversation. I think it was, because we held over 60 people for most of the time, which is, outstanding in itself. And I think it's a topic that everyone was interested in. And we showed some great and amazing finds tonight by our followers and subscribers. And I appreciate each and every one of them sending things in. I also appreciate all the people that gave money tonight and gave money to support the channel. Fly Rock, Prospectors Cash, James Bazell, Stinkass Cat, Fly Rock again, and Blasted Cat all gave money to help support our channel and to bring these live streams to you, these great talks and conversations. And we've got such a great and knowledgeable group of followers and subscribers. And that's what makes it so fun, because we just enjoy being with each other and we enjoy sharing all the information with you guys. So, again, take care. You guys have a wonderful and fantastic weekend. Get out and metal detect. If you find something great, don't hesitate to share it with us tonight, or share with us on our email, and we'll be glad to feature your finds. And Michael and I think are going to try to get out and metal detect ourselves. I've got some things that I'm going to work on. I'm hopefully going to be showing the double score and the score. That's my plan for the weekend. Might use the mana core a little bit more, show some of that too as well, and bring you some great content. And I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to a great weekend. Super Bowl weekend. Go out and watch some football. Have fun. Be safe. Enjoy your time with your family and friends. Again, time flies by really, really fast. So take care. And we appreciate each and every one of you being here with us tonight. Thank you again. And we'll catch you guys real soon on our next adventure. Thank y'all so much for tuning in tonight. And we appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you again. Michael, anything?
Thanks, guys. Go out and find something great and send us those pictures, and have a good weekend.
Definitely. Thank you, guys.